da da da. Oh, 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 na na. In the name of Yah, the source of our strength, by the right is Michael, and on my left is Gabriel. Umilefanai Uriel, meachorai Rafael. Ve'al roshi shchinas el. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos to the ones with the names and the ones with the faces and the names, wherever you are, whatever you're doing tonight. We welcome you and we invite you to turn on your video camera for a second. Shabbat is Pnei Shabbat, the face of Shabbat. So let's see you. Make an appearance. We promise that we know that that sometimes we want to put a little, talit over the head, and sometimes we want to cover. But Shabbat is higalena. Reveal yourself. Let me see you. Let's see your true face, not the face necessarily that you used to flag down a cab. I saw Holly flagging down a cab yesterday in New York City. But not necessary. I did. It's true. Oh, we wear many faces. Shabbat says, okay, let's see. Let's see the light. Let's see what a face that is a Shabbos-dik face. A face that says, no. We're always in person, even if we're not on site. Gale, 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 na'am, ufros chavivi alai, o aleinu, et sukkah, Sukkot, Shlomecha, 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 Gale, 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 Here we go. Frosi. The sound of Zoom boxes. I hear you all. It's Sukkot. 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 Gale, 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 na, ufros chavivi alai, it's soon. rain on us. We open to receive Shabbat. Bye-bye, bye-bye, and lie. This is Nigun Yoga, everybody. Niguna Asana. Best done in full-on, bodied, loud music. Hey, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Mo'asu Miyom Liyom, Yeshuato, Saperu, Vagoyim, Vodo, Vechol, Nachamim, Niflotav, Hagigadol Adonai, Umral Me'od, Ora, Hukal Elohim, O Ki Kol Elohei, Amim Elilim, Vadonai Shamayim Masah, Ahai na 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 na, Anai na 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 na, Oh hi hi hi, hi 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 hi, oh na na na, na 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 na, na na na, ya na na ya na na ya na na. Yana la, yana la, yana la, la la, yana la, la la la, oh 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 oh, la 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 la, oh la 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 la, hi nine nine, hey nine nine nine, hi. Ay ay ay, yambayay, hi la 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 la, hi la 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 la, hi la la la, oh hi la la, hi la 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 la, oh ba 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 ba, oh na da 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 da, oh hi hi. If you're able to rise, this song is a Mizmor de David. It's got a lot of divine names in it. It's got a lot of call, voice. What does voice feel like when it's rooted in the ground or wherever you're seated? What does it feel like? There are a lot of voices here that we can't hear, but can you imagine? Maybe there's some voices outside the window. Maybe there's some voices in the other room. Maybe a voice from the past. Navi Hamladunai B'nei Eli Havula Donai Kavod va'oz ay Hamladunai Yerot shemo yishtacham ladon behadras kol Adonai על המים אין לה כבוד ירים באדום אדוני על מים רבים Hayay, Adonai, Shover Nazim, Vayshamber Adonai, Et Arze Halvanon Vayar Kidem. Oh. ונראים איי 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 כל אדוני דינו במבראי ראי המבראי אכיל אדוני ניר בקדש כל אדון יכול אליי לא סבא יחס אוף לא אומר כבוד איי 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 אדוני למה בו ישב וישב הוויה מלך לעולם עמו ייתן יברר עמו בשלום דיני ללילה לילה במבראי דיני ללילה במבראי Ambarai dai lai 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 didin lai 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 hi hi Ambarai dai yara hi na dai oh bara Oh, hi, 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 hi. Oh, hi. So in your seat, or if you're standing and there aren't distractions and things pulling you away, I invite you to take 2 minutes now just to rest in these moments before the Chadodi, these moments of receiving Shabbat. You know that it's important for us to do something that's nikar, something that says, okay, Shabbat is here. Maybe it's logging on, maybe it's logging off. Maybe it's tuning in, maybe it's tuning out. But as you're sitting here, you don't have to turn the camera off to go inside. Just close your eyes and find your breath or find sensations in your body. The most immediate Shabbat experience that you have is Al Yetzi Ish Mimkomo B'Yom HaShabbat. When you go inside, you say, I'm staying inside for a little bit. I'm going to shelter in this place, in this inner place. And the Prophet Isaiah said that when we have Shabbat, we have an opportunity to speak differently on Shabbat, to slow down the rapid exhale and the frantic inhale. We have a chance to lengthen time, to stretch it, to feel its texture, not as commodity, not as a means to an end, but time that is timeless. So maybe notice the quality of your own body and space at this moment. We don't have to go to the Himalayas or to Mount Tremper to make a journey to the simplest and most basic experience of our own presence in this body, in this place, and at this time. So notice if you're holding tension in your jaw or in your ears, and maybe you might have more vitality if you let it go, or you can hold on to it. That's your choice too. Maybe let Shabbat hold whatever worry you've brought with you tonight, or whatever it is that the mind is busy with. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל עמי אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי, כזכרה בשבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת סקאלה ונשבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, מקור הברכה וראש וקרן ניסוחה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך הפיכה, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה. מחוייך המון עלייך חמלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. התנערני מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בני שי בית הלחמי. קרבה אל נפשי גאלה לך דודי. Sing, let's go Daniel, Andrea, let's go. La Rani, לך דודי לקראת את ג'וני פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך, לך דודי לקראת קלה נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת דודי, לקראת סקאלה, הנה שבת נקה. ולא תקמימתי אשתוכחי ומדהמי ברוך יחסמני יהיה עמי עין עיני לך דודי שור סייך ורחקו כל בלעים יעשי סרעים חתן הקלה הילה לך דודי לקראת סקאלה אוי נשמה נשמה אל יניש וניס ונגינה הילה לך אדוני הילה לקראת סקאלה אוי נשמה ונשמה Boy, be surprised if you're able. Boy, mishalom ateret bala. Gam besimcha ubetzala. Toch emunei am skula. Boy, chala. Shabbos amalkam. Ay lecha dodi, ay nikras kaladanat, oranay b'nei Shabbos nekabela. We bring to mind all of those who are in need of healing tonight, loved ones whose names will appear on the screen and in your hearts and in our hearts tonight, those whom we love and pray for, those who have been affected this week by the hurricane, of course, and by those this week suffering from COVID and all their manner of healing that's required. Healer of the broken hearted, and binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars. You know who we are. הרופא לשבורי לב ומכבש לעצבותם בני מספר לכוכבים לכולם שמות יקרם Anna Elna Rafana Lam Anna Elna Rafana Lam. We pray for healing in body, heart, mind, and spirit. Shabbatim lezoach u'refuah krova lavo. And let us all say Amen. Shabbos, everyone. Good Shabbos. Friends, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbos, Jeffrey.
Good Shabbos, Rabbi David.
Okay, we have a couple of announcements for this beautiful community. It's been a while since we've done it this way, but it's good. I'm telling you. It's nice to be back in this kind of intimate space. It's a little bit, very different, I should say, than the multi-access that we were doing. But we'll talk more about that in a second. But let's share some important information with our community tonight.
So in case you haven't heard, the high holidays are around the corner, Monday night, Erev Rosh Hashanah. So please join us. We have services all over Manhattan and Brooklyn. And of course, if you are not able to or choose not to be with us in person on site, then please join us via Zoom. And everything you need to know is at romemu.org. We've gotten a lot of questions and comments via our helpline. So it's all right there, romemu.org. You must register. Everybody has to register, even if you're a member. Tickets are free if you're a member, of course, but please register for services, whether you're on site or online, and all the information you need to know about COVID policies, everything is on the website. And I'll just tell you in a word what you need to know. You can go back a slide, just go back one slide. If you are going to be joining us on site, you are going to have to bring an ID for positive identification. And if you've not uploaded your vaccination status on the website, please bring proof of vaccination as well. And masking is mandatory all the time inside, and we'll have N95 masks. We really recommend N95 masks. I can't stress that enough. The science shows that the efficacy of N95 is way above any other mask. If you need an N95 mask or don't have one, we'll have them available on site for you. And there'll also be room to social distance. We'll let people take care of that themselves, but the capacity of our spaces is big enough, we hope, to accommodate the on-site attendees. So you'll have those three ways: vaccinating, masking, and social distancing to keep everybody safe. And then online, the Machzor will be available for download when you get your online links, so everybody will be taken care of. And there are a couple of gatherings. Again, check the website for all the various things happening on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, a little gathering on Zoom after services. And the second day, we're doing Tashlich. Sometimes we do it the first day, some years the second day. This year, it's on the second day, Tashlich. at the park. At the river. So please join us if you're in Manhattan. And then just want to give you a heads up, the fall semester of adult education classes, both our Romemu Yeshiva and our other lifelong learning classes are starting in October. There's an amazing roster for our yeshiva. Yeshiva is open for everybody. It is appropriate no matter what your level of previous study. So please join these incredible classes. Rabbi Ingber is teaching One God Clapping again, which this is the second time. First time was incredible for those of you who joined.
It was an encore, so people wanted us to keep clapping. They were clapping, so we said
the one God
continues still clapping. Exactly, still clapping.
And then our other yeshiva faculty, each teaching a really amazing and deep classes. So check out the website again for the yeshiva classes beginning in the middle of October. And the well also will be starting up for other classes like Beit Midrash and the other things on the next slide. You can just see the well, doesn't really say much, and that's it. And then a big Shabbat Shalom for everybody. We will be having services again tomorrow on Zoom, only on Zoom. You can join us at 9 for open book and 10 for the services.
Awesome. Yeah, let me just quickly correct that for the next slide for tomorrow. Got it. Thank you so much, Chef. Lot going on, and a lot going on. Just so those of you who are here with us and in the Zoomagog, as I like to call it, the reason why we're not together in the Roomagog and the Zoomagog, of course, is to maximize the safety for the clergy in particular, and so on, as we make our way towards Rosh Hashanah. We didn't take this lightly, and we also understand and we're concerned that it might signal to anyone, God forbid, that we think that it's not safe to be together. No, if that were the case, then we would not be having Rosh Hashanah, but we do maximize the sense, of course, all of this is risk management to some degree, and so the risk of one of us being infected, which of course can happen, and of course it did happen a couple of weeks ago, made it the smart decision. And so we hope that that people recognize that we'll be back on site as well, God willing, in future weeks, of course, and also on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, God willing. And it's been a thrill to be able to welcome people back to the Romemu Center and to the Romemu Sanctuary, a place that is still suffused with our tefillah, with our prayers, and with our longings. And this space too has become sacred in its own way. And so for me personally, to be back here tonight in this medium, it feels a little bit more intimate, a little bit closer to the camera, a little bit more like able to make out the faces and the spaces that you all are inhabiting, and to actually see and watch the body language and the facial expressions that signal, you're alive out there. You are alive out there. And indeed you are. And I can see it and feel it. A couple of you might be alive with us, which of course another way I wanted to always talk about synagogue is alive together. Like, when people ask me what Roman was, it said, oh, it's a shul. No, it's an aliveness center. Like want to get together and be alive together. So this being alive together is really a miracle, isn't it? And so wherever you are, if you're here as a regular, it's so great to see you. And I see so many of you who are here, week in and week out, midday Shabbat b'Shabbato, each and every Shabbat. And some of you I haven't seen in a while, and we're so happy to welcome you back to the synagogue and also welcome you soon to the synagogue. If you're here for the first time, we have a particular desire, born of our recognition that it isn't easy always to be, or maybe for some it's not easy. Most people, I think, have this experience of being first time in a place, even if it's as potentially anonymous as Zoom might allow it to be. So if anybody's here for the first time, we'd love to say hello. We also know that there are some people in the YouTube-averse, the YouTube-agog, I don't even know, that doesn't work, but YouTube-agog, and in the Facebook-agog that are also with us. We welcome you. You can write in if you're here for the first time, and we'll take a look at it, over Shabbat. We're thankful that you're watching and praying with us. Anybody here for the first time, you might want to chat in your name and where you're from. And so let's see. Anybody here for the first time? Let's welcome you. Okay. We're gonna wait one more minute. If those who are here for the first time have not made their way to the chat, we're just gonna generally welcome you and thank you. And in about 45 seconds, okay, Deborah Kane, thank you. Welcome, Deborah. And if you're, we're in about a minute, we're gonna just break out into some breakout groups. And so those of you who are here for the first time and those of you who have been with us many times before, we're going to just take a moment to check in with one another and take about 3 or 4 minutes just to wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. And thank you, Roberta. And I particularly want you guys to hold this question that we're going to be exploring together as well, which is the question of what it is that you have held with you throughout the year that has been a resource for you. And anything else, we're just going to generally open up the breakout room as a chance for people to say hello to one another and to check in, take about a minute or so. And so thank you to Michele and thank you to Ari, who are moderating behind the scenes, who are going to send us off into our breakout rooms. You might meet somebody for the first time. If you're a Romu regular, welcome them on behalf of all of us. And thank you to Raphael, who's in Ireland. And what is it in Ireland now? About 11 o'clock already in Ireland, right? And you're davening with us. Welcome, Raphael. Okay, everybody, we're off to our little private groups, and then we'll see you in about 4 minutes.
Come, come, come to me, my beloved, my beautiful queen. Come, come, come to me, my beloved, my beautiful queen. Boy, 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 Kabbalat Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat HaMalka. Boy, 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 Kabbalat Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat HaMalka. Come, come, come to me, my beloved, my beautiful queen. Come, come, come to me, my beloved, my beautiful queen. Boy, 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 Kabbalat queen. Come, 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 come to me, my beloved, my beautiful queen. Boy, 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 kala, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Hamalka. Boy, 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 kala, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat.
Oh.
This beautiful poem was sent to me by a student in the Hasidic Master's class. Can you all hear me? You can hear me, right? Yeah, great. This is a special poem that was sent to me in honor of my son Tal's 10th birthday, which was this past week. And this is dedicated to him and the beauty of his neshama soul. Thank you to Ilana Klugman for sending this poem from Billy Collins. The whole idea of it makes me feel like I'm coming down with something worse than any stomach ache, or the headaches I get from reading in bad light, a kind of measles of the spirit, a mumps of the psyche, a disfiguring chickenpox of the soul. You tell me it's too early to be looking back, but that is because you have forgotten the perfect simplicity of being one and the beauty and the beautiful complexity introduced by two. But I can lie on my bed and remember every digit. At 4, I was an Arabian wizard. I could make myself invisible by drinking a glass of milk in a certain way. At 7, I was a soldier. At 9, a prince. But now I'm mostly at the window watching the late afternoon light. Back then, it never fell so solemnly against the side of my treehouse, and my bicycle never leaned against the garage as it does today. All the dark blue speed drained out of it. This is the beginning of sadness, I say to myself as I walk through the universe in my sneakers. It's time to say goodbye to my imaginary friends, time to turn the first big number. It seems only yesterday I used to believe there was nothing under my skin but light, and if you cut me, I could shine. But now when I fall upon the sidewalks of life, I skin my knees. I bleed. That poem, a kind of lament on turning 10, the first big digit, is actually not quite the story of my little boy and all of those of us here tonight. We are all, in some profound way, as a community and as individuals, recognizing that we are both light and vulnerable. We are both those who skin our knees and also rise up in the image of that innocence that is so pure. All of us have both of those truths. And so I hold that, and I hold that image for all of us as we rise, if you can, to bend the quote-unquote knees, the knees that indeed we skin. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hai da 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 da, המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. איי נדאי, 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 נדאי. ברוכת שכינה, you may be seated. With each breath we take, we let go, we surrender. With each breath, we hold on, we let go, we hold on, we let go. אלא חיה וקיימת, תמיד תמלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוכה את שכינה, המרהיבה רבים. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, we rest in love. Love we can taste, the love we can feel, love that restores our faith, a love that challenges us, a love that lifts us, a love that brings us low, a love of ancestors who came before, of paths well worn and tread, and the blessing and the grace that we have in walking in them. ואהבתך תשים ממנו לעולמים. Baruch atah, breath of breath, closer than my own heart, who loves all of us. We prepare for the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. May I see oneness in the world. May I see unity in the world. I dedicate myself to listening, to hear your voice in every face, in every place, in every face, in every place. I open myself to see, to feel, to hear the oneness of the world. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוש על ידיך ויהיו לטודבוס, בין עיניך וכסרתם על מזוזות ביתך ומשעריך והיה. How happy will it be when we align ourselves with the divine power of love, when we obey and live in integrity with the truth of interwoven being. למען ירבו ימיכם וימי בניכם, על האדמה אשר השפענו על אבותיכם לתת להם, כימי השמיים על הארץ ויאמר ההוויה אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם יעשו להם ציצית, הגן ובגדיהם לדורותם נתנו על ציצית, הגנה בתי לחרב ולחם לציצית. אדוני אלוהיכם amen. I don't know if my friend Laura is here, but I thought I saw her before. And my sense is that if she were here, she would have a microphone. And if she would have a microphone, she might sing for us. I don't know if Laura is singing to us or she's singing to someone else. Are you there, Laura?
Hello.
מי כמוך
כמוך
מי
ואלים אדוני,
אלים אדוני
מי כמוך
מי כמוך
נדר בחודש,
נדר בקודש
נורא
נורא תהילות
עושה
עושה פלא
מלכותך
מלכותך
רעונך
רעו בניך
בוקר הים
בוקע ים
לפני משה ומרים
לפני משה ומרים
זה לי
זה לי
אנו ואמרו
אנו ואמרו
אדוני ימלוך
אדוני ימלוך
לעולם ועד
לעולם ועד ידינא-דא-דא-דאי ידינא-דא-דא-דאי איי ידינא-דא-דאי Baruch
Adonai,
Atah Adonai
God.
Gam Israel. Amen. Hashkivenu, freedom and peace, freedom and peace. May all of us lie down in peace tonight. Watch over your children, Shekhinah. Hover and protect us. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Haporei Sukkot Shalom. Aleinu ala kol mo Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei Tevel, ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise if you are able. Vishamru, everyone, sing with me, please. Vishamru, ne Yisrael, es Hashabbat, lasos, es Hashabbat. Ledorosam v'nisolam ve'yeni uvein minei Yisrael osi lecholam Ishes yamin asa Adonai es hashamayim yes haaretz uvayom hashevei Shabbos vayinafash Yitgadal vayitgadash shemei Rabba Ve'almadi verachirusei Ve'yamlich malchusei B'chayechon uvyomechon ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה, ובזמן הקורי וימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם יומי עלמא יתברך.
יפרח וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי קודשה בריחו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבעתה ונבעתה דמירם ואמן לרסה
Amen. We have silent Amidah or seated meditation. Take 2 or 3 minutes now to be with your God. Be with the liturgy of our ancestors or your own words as a portal into presence.
May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, Lord, my rock, my redeemer. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be your living sanctuary for you. Da, da, da.
This week's parsha is Nitzavim. Nitzavim, atem nitzavim ayom kulchem, says the Torah. Moshe speaks to the Jewish people, and maybe one of the most famous openings that, of course, unbeknownst to Moshe Rabbeinu, along would come Elton John and make it a famous song. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. Atem nitzavim ayom kulchem, says Moshe Rabbeinu. All of you are standing here. Atem nitzavim, the word nitzav means firmly rooted, standing firm. The word in Hebrew for monument is a matzeva. To put stone, to put something that's rooted, something that is immutable, something that is not easily moved by the vicissitudes and exigencies and the weather of life. Atem nitzavim ayom kulchem. And then Moshe begins to draw us all of these different characters. Roshechem, Shiftechem, Mechotei Veitzecha, Ad Shoev Meimecha, like the ones who are cutting down the trees, the ones who chop wood, and the ones who carry water. That had to come from somewhere too, for those of you who think that that's a Buddhist idea, chopping wood, carrying water. The water carriers, the wood lumberjacks. All of you, Moshe says, all of you are nitzavim mayom, today. Kulchem, kulchem, all of you together. Kulchem. This is the parsha that's read every single year on the last Shabbat of the year. And indeed, as you all know, this is the last Shabbat of the year. And so the question, of course, is what is it about this parsha that makes it worthy of having been bestowed with the great honor of being the last parsha of every single year, every Shabbat, the last Shabbat of every year. But the last Shabbat of every year is this parsha, the Shabbat that immediately precedes Rosh Hashanah. And so the great Hasidic Rebbe, the Hasidic teacher, whom we've studied many times, we actually did a teaching from him a couple of weeks ago, Reb Tzadok HaKohen from Lublin, known as the great Reb Tzadok. He writes in his commentary, he says, you need to know that the reason why this parsha was chosen as the parsha that is at the end of every single last Shabbat of every single year, why it's given that special place, is because as Moshe Rabbeinu was speaking to all of the Israelites, he says a couple of things, two of which are vital for us to remember as we walk into Rosh Hashanah. The first one, he says, the first thing that Moshe Rabbeinu was teaching is that in every generation, In every single generation, in every single season of life, there will be a leader who will have to read the moment. Who will have to be the leader that brings the particular energies and the particular response that they are bestowed with, the particular and unique frame that they have to meet the moment that they're in. A leader has to respond to moments unlike leaders who responded to other moments. And one doesn't have a playbook, doesn't, right? Every month is different, Reb Tzadok says. Every month of the year is different. Every month of the year has its own particular divine algorithm. And so too, he says, each and every one of those enumerated in the list of Moshe, all of you are gathered here, all of you, to bring you into the covenant. La'ovrecha b'bris. All of you are gathered here, and there are so many different factions, and each one of them will have a different leader. And there'll be a leader that comes from one group, and another leader comes from a different group, and each one of them will bring what they have, and they'll show leadership in the way that they show leadership. And Moshe Rabbeinu says, I'm leaving the scene. My obsolescence is something that is inevitable and required as a leader, but there'll come another leader who'll be maybe, right, from this group or from that group, and each one of them will have something to offer, and each one of them will have to read the moment the way I read the moment, and it won't be exactly the same. So Moshe says, listen, let it be established in you as a matseva, as a monument, that the same way you venerated me and listened to me, so too shall you venerate and listen to the unique leadership that will arise. Don't confuse my leadership with the only leadership. Don't confuse what I look like as a leader with the only image of what a leader might be and do and take. And then Reb Tzadok says something else. He says, and the other reason why Nitzavim had to come at the end of the year, the last Shabbat of the year, is for this reason. That it says in the Midrash that when the children of Israel heard Parshat Ki Tavo, which was last week's Torah portion, and had in it some rebukes, and had in it some things that were some warnings that might have been dire, they needed to remember, Atem nitzavim hayom kolchem. You might have had low moments like the ones in Ki Tavo last week, but we go into Rosh Hashanah nitzavim. Ki nafalti kamti, because even when you've fallen, you get back up again, like we did last Motzei Shabbat, right? I fall down, I get back up. We go into Rosh Hashanah nitzavim, standing firm, together, kulchem. No matter what we've been through, no matter what it was, nitzavim, ready to hear what our marching orders might be for the year ahead, ready to understand that not every month, not every season, and certainly not every year can be like the year that came before, and nor should it be. It will have its own unique contours. But nitzavim, you've been through it, says Reb Tzadok. You've been through it. You were through the curses of Ki Tavo, and you're still standing. And we bring that into Rosh Hashanah. So I don't know about you, but I know that gives me some chizuk, that gives me some strength. I feel that collectively, whether here on site together, listening to each other, feeling one another in space, or whether it's in the Zoom space, that Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem, all of you leaders, each of you responded to the moment with your own Torah, with your own leadership, with your own way in the world. Each of you, Kulchem, from the ones of you who worked locally and those who worked virtually, from the ones of you who never knew what it was to live in a virtual universe, the ones that had to cope each and every day and make it up from scratch. Each and every one of you led in some way, shape, or form and taught in some way, shape, or form. I believe it. You didn't do it exactly like the person in the box to your right or below you, but you did it your way. And here you are, all of you, Kulchem, Hayom, today. Hayom. We're walking to Rosh Hashanah with an eagerness to find out what it is that might be our unique imprint for the year ahead. And that's our dedicated prayer. Please show me the way, God. Please show us the way how we might go forward from this place, not from last year and not from next year, from this year, from this moment. Nitzavim, having something solid in us that establishes that sense that we can know and we can and we can lead and we can follow. And also a reminder that we have resilience. With all of that, I bless all of you on this Shabbat to please rise and stand firm for Vahashevota. Take it into your heart and bring it with you. Vahashevota elevavecha
Ki Adonai
Ki Adonai
Hu Elohim
Hu Elohim
Hashemot
V'hashevota elevavecha Ki Havaya Hi Elohim v'nemar into our holy gathering, into our holy sacred space, into this nitzavim, this matzeva, this monument, this testimony to human beauty and human perseverance. We lift up those in our community who are in mourning. And in particular tonight, we bring our hearts and our minds to our teacher, Ramadan Kolar Esses, the associate rabbi at Romemu, who lost her mother this past week. And bring your attention, if you would, to the names on the list in front of you as we call these names. For Vivian Esses, Chaya Bat Olga Velian, Barbara Kiskadin, and Stan Hildebrand. For those in the Shloshim, the first month of mourning, Erwin Paul Schaller, Sherry Guilano, and Wolf Bunting. For those in the first year, Benjamin Wolf, Talushkin, Beth Baldridge, Devorah Stahl, Lee Brox, Sean Foreman, Shore, Ellsworth Levine, Erwin Bardash, Mr. Elsie Pops Floyd, Lynn Blacker, Shirley Gatzik, Grace in Denmark, Rabbi Raphael Goldstein, Hamagid Yitzchak Buxbaum, Brady Rifkin, Lorette Nierenberg, Barry Kosky, Betty Levin, Seymour Borstein, Leslie Robert Axelrod, Charlotte Figman, Stuart Saville, Lily Zimmett and Julia Eisenberg, Shirley Marlowe, Gresham Drury, Michael Fricano Jr., Nancy Traeger, Rabbi Dr. Henry Dicker, Robert Gerald Cohen, and Angela Lam Margolis. We remember Ever Duchin, Batya Ariel Bat Avraham, Kathy Maddy, Elizabeth Deegan, Bertha Sutton, Naomi Kramer Stemp, your mother Laura, Miriam Mimi Sternwolf, Hadassah Loeb, Roberta Lipperman, Alice Macaras, Andy Neiman, Pauline Dixon, Joel Rinigrad, Albert Passner, Eliza Pesha Batchana, Henry Bowman Backer, Henry Lee, Dizzy Ah, Tav Sparks, Annie Esty, Maurice Nanyan, Eric Press, Iona Miller, Yost Lundberg, and Dr. Randy Baker, Heidi Kingsbury. We remember Chaim Levitt and Salm Ben Aryeh, Miriam. We remember Reverend Robert Greitz, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs, Anne Marie Zangara, Zati Munajat and Cliff Bales, Tomas Santana Nunez, Irina Gromadskaya. We remember tonight Solomon Walansky, Ida Stel Tuckman, Eric and Hamilton Dominguez, and just to be clear, Harriet and it's Rabbi Diane's mother passed away this week, so just I'm not sure if she's actually here in the space, but she'll anyway. So we lift you up and give more information about that after the Mourner's Kaddish. If it's your custom to rise, please rise. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון ויומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קורי ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעומה ואמרו אמן יהי שלום רבה משמיה וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל and let us say amen. Yehi zichron baruch, may their memory be a blessing forever and ever. Just to be clear, tomorrow evening will be a shiva, a Zoom shiva with Rabbi Kolor Esses and a Havdalah with Chazan Shachter, and an in-person shiva on Sunday in the park. Those details were in the email that was sent out this week, in the condolence email that we sent out to the community. So please take a look at that. And tomorrow morning, to honor Vivian, to honor her mother, Rabbi Kolor Esses will be leading tomorrow morning's open book at 9 o'clock, followed by our services at 10 o'clock. And so please come and join in elevating the spirit of Rabbi Kolor Esses' mother. Into this cup of blessing tonight, remarkably beautiful chazanut and of Laura. We miss you, Laura. We're so happy that, in a way, not being able to be in person allowed us also to be together with you in the room and to have your leadership. And thank you for just stepping in. Thank you to all of the members of our Romemu team behind the scenes. In particular tonight, Ari and Micheli, who are on the screen in that picture. There you guys are. And all of the members of the team who are holding this community together, both visibly and in an unseen way. To all of them, into this cup of blessing. Into this cup of blessing as well. The beauty of this community. Just take a look around for a moment. If you have a cup, bring it with you. And let's see one another. Thank you, and Joni. Always have that mug. Always gives a smile to my face. Okay, everybody. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויכל אלוהים יום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבוץ ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבץ מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. Sabri, my friends. לחיים, לחיים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, בשבת קודשו, באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, עם כל העמים, ושבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון. ברוך
Adonai,
מקדש
B'Shabbat.
השבת. Amen.
Amen.
It's like you never know. All of a sudden I'm going to call on you and you're like, oh, what's going on here? You know? Why not? I've got the power. It's like I can, I got it. I could just call on you. Lisa, just do
No.
one more. Just do one more refrain, Lisa. Just one more refrain.
Oh.
Ba 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 ba.
Vo vo va va Baruch ata Adonai da 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 va da va Shabbat. Thank you.
We have the 27th Psalm as people leave. The David Adonai Orivi Ishim Imira. בקרוב עלי מרעים לכל בציר קצר, הם הקשו ונפל, אם תחלה עלי מחנה, לא יירא ליבי. אם תקום עלי מלחמה בזאת, אני בוטח. My enemies surround me, the stories, the despair, the disappointment, whatever it is, you know what? Lo yira libi. My heart, no. No fear allowed tonight. I see you, fear, and I bring you a little God. I see you, fear, I bring you a little love. I see you, constriction, I bring you a little breath. I see you. I know. It's okay. But it's Shabbat. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני, אותה אבקש. שבתי מבית אדוני, כל ימי חיי, לחזות בנועם, בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו, לחזות בנועם, בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו. Lai, 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 na, 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 lai, 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 la, na, 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 dam. Sweet people, I wish you a good Shabbos. I will see you tomorrow night, God willing, at the Shiva, tomorrow morning, with family and blessings on this final Shabbat of this year. That we are nitzavim, standing firm with one another, ready to receive what's coming our way. Look around the Zoom room, give Shabbos to one another. guys.